Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Zachary Levi is making his Broadway debut opposite Krysta Rodriguez in the new musical First Date, playing at the Longacre Theater. And I'm here on opening night to celebrate with them and the company.
The other half of the first date. Oh, he's already here.
He is. How is he? Because my sister said he may in fact be the man of my dreams.
She did? Are you and your sister close?
I feel amazing. I'm a little emotional, a little overwhelmed. You know, I've been dreaming of directing a show on Broadway since I think I was 12, and it finally happened tonight, so I'm overwhelmed.
So what attracted you to this?
You know, the script was given to me, and I thought, oh, a dating script? Who wants to see another show about dating? I read the script, I laughed out loud. I actually thought when I was reading it, I'm going to read 5 pages, and then I'll be able to say I read it. I read the whole thing. I called the person who gave it to me and said, I have to do this. It's so fresh, it's so original, and it's funny, it has heart. It's everything a musical should be as far as I'm concerned.
And talk about your 2 leads.
Zach and Krysta are amazing. You know, people keep saying to me, great direction. I think, I didn't direct anything. I just watched Zach and Krysta and said, awesome, way to go, guys. And laughed with them all day long. You know, they are true professionals. Zach is giving an amazing performance, and Krysta, I don't have enough good things to say about her. She comes to the table with great ideas, and she wows me. I don't know what to say.
This is the perfect date show. I mean, I was there Sunday night at the 7 o'clock show. The audience went crazy.
They do. You know what? Anybody who's ever been on a date, whether you're going to your 35th anniversary and you're going on a date or it's your first date, you can relate to the show. We all date.
Welcome to Broadway, guys. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. We feel so lucky to be here. We can't believe it.
It's an absolute dream come true. I've been telling everybody when I first came to New York and when I was a kid, I made my parents drive me by all the Broadway theaters before I would even let them check in our hotel. So to now have a show on Broadway is absolutely a dream come true. It's overwhelming.
It's astonishing, thrilling. Tonight my parents were in the audience. They both grew up in New York and New Jersey, going to theaters, specifically Longacre Theater. The idea of them being able to see a show that I wrote on Broadway, it blows my mind.
So talk about your collaboration. How did you guys get together to write this?
Well, we've been friends for a long time, and we spent a lot of lunches together complaining about our dating lives, our romantic past, horrible things that have happened to us with women. And from that...
From that, we decided one day, we're like, you know what? We should pool all of our collective stories and maybe create a show out of this. We're all obsessed with musical theater.
Just so something good could have come out of all those negative experiences.
The trauma.
It sounds like a musical, all the trauma, all the emotions.
We thought the idea of like bringing our baggage to life was really fascinating and theatrical on stage. And once we started talking about that, creating these 2 characters and figuring out their baggage, we thought we had a show, and that was how it all happened.
But isn't that great, though? Because this is universal. Everyone has dating issues.
That's been the most thrilling thing. Yeah.
Every generation we've discovered.
Well, that's the thing about the show is it appeals to 15-year-olds and 85-year-olds, and they all respond the same way, and which is great. That was something we never expected, but it's very, very thrilling.
Yeah, I think we thought initially it would appeal to people in their 20s and 30s who are sort of in the heart of the dating scene, but now with the internet, people are dating much older.
And ultimately, everybody has been on a first date. It doesn't matter what generation, and is going on first dates at any age.
Now talk about your great cast, especially Zachary and Krysta.
I mean, they're unbelievable. How lucky are we to get Zach Levi and Krysta Rodriguez? I mean, Krysta's a Broadway veteran. She's unbelievable. She's perfect. Zach is a revelation because he's never done Broadway before, and he owns and commands that stage. I mean, we knew he could sing. We had heard Tangled, and but you don't really know. And then he sang these songs, and it's just like, it's unbelievable.
It's like Broadway's discovering a new musical comedy star, truly.
I love this show so much. It's so funny and it has such a beautiful heart. I love it. And Bryce Rhiness is kind of hilarious. But the cast is a cast of clowns. They're ridiculous and lovely people. And it has been an absolute pleasure. I know people say that all the time and it's so stupidly corny. But they really are an amazing cast.
No, but it's not, though, because it's when you get that, it must be so much easier to do your work.
Oh my God, it's everything. With a comedy like this, it's the cast. You have nothing if you don't have the cast, and boy, we have the cast. You know, what's on the page is hilarious. The writers wrote unbelievably funny lyrics and funny dialogue, but what really transcends it is a beautiful cast, and they have such heart, and they are such good actors, but they have heart, and they are just ridiculous. We laughed so much in rehearsal.
And what attracted you to the material originally?
Oh, well, the comedy. You know, I was just coming off of Cinderella, and I knew Cinderella was coming up when they sent me the script, and I really loved the ironic humor. You know, because Cinderella is so traditional, and this is ironic and contemporary, and I thought, wow, I can't think of the last time I've seen a romantic musical comedy on Broadway that's set in 2013. It seems like such an easy sort of thing. You think, why not? This is what people want. They want a romantic musical comedy, but this is right now. This is with issues that people are dealing with and the kind of humor that we have now. And I thought, this is great. This is a great idea.
She's kind of indie and pretty hard. She's a lot like all the things that I am not.
What is the point of imagining me if you're not going to listen to a friggin' word I say?
He's a bit annoying and overdressed. He's got the kind of vibe that says, look at me, I'm stressed. I have a hard time silencing my inner critic.
Tell me about it.
Really, you do too?
Oh, my inner critic will not shut up right now.
What is he saying?
To get out of this date as quickly as possible, just...
What has this been like working on a brand new musical? Tell me.
Well, I love working on new musicals, and especially what's special about this show is our songwriters, our book writer, our director, and our other lead are all making their Broadway debut. So it's really fun. That happened with In the Heights, that happened with Spring Awakening. It's really been a great, I have good track record with new people. So that's been really great. We're all kind of finding our way. We clicked immediately. We have such a wonderful working environment. Zach and I just work off each other so well. We got to work right away at like making these characters ours, and it's been so great to have the opportunity to mold it to us.
Let's talk about this great role that you play.
Her name is Casey, and she's really fun. She's a sharpshooter, and I wish I were as witty and quick as she is. She's guarded. She's a little jaded. She's a very typical New Yorker. I can relate. I've been living in New York for 11 years. Nothing phases me anymore. And actually, that's what's great about her. It's that nothing phases her until he sort of changes her mind. And when somebody is that set in their ways and somebody can kind of open their eyes to something new, it's a really great theatrical event.
Audiences are falling in love with this show. Talk about their reaction.
The reaction has been the best part. I mean, it's a hard show to do. We're on stage 90 minutes. We never leave. I can't go to the bathroom. I can't blow my nose. I can't do a little warm-up, before I start singing. But if it wasn't so fun, I mean, it's the most fun I've had on stage in as long as I can remember. It's so great. We just enjoy ourselves. People think they're like, are you guys laughing at each other? And we're like, well, we are because it's in the show, but we do genuinely laugh at each other. We just love watching each other perform. It's great.
What were rehearsals like with the two of you?
They were fun, but we were very dedicated. We were, we got right into that script and was like, this is what this person would be. This is who we are as these people. Fine-tuning jokes. Up until last week when we froze the show, we were throwing new jokes in there, seeing what stuck, and so it's fun to kind of workshop new stuff, especially in a comedy. It has to land. It has to land consistently, So that's a balancing act. But comedy's the hardest, So. We had a good time figuring it out.
Talk about what you do in the show.
Well, I do a few things. My main character is the waiter, and I sort of facilitate them getting their food and drink for the evening. But I also play Krysta's father, Casey's father, and her therapist. So, fun night.
So what do you love about the show? What attracted you?
I think it breaks all of the rules, and that's something that doesn't happen very often. People just turn and talk to the audience whenever they want to. Someone just stands up and puts on a pair of glasses and becomes someone else instantly, and we ask you to go with that, and they do. They really love it. So.
And working with this cast.
Yeah, it's been incredible. There's 7 really funny people, and 7 strong personalities as well. But we all get along really well, and we're enjoying each other. It's very, very talented company.
And being part of a new musical.
Yeah, this is my favorite thing about this one, I think, is I've been in new show, Broadway shows before that are new. This one's based on nothing, which I think is very, very exciting. It came out of somebody's head. It's a fresh idea, and that's sort of fun.
And working with Zachary and Krysta.
Yeah, both wonderful, wonderful performers. Zachary's Broadway debut, and he has been just so generous and kind to all of us. We've loved it.
So what was today like for you? Debuts are really special.
No, I know. My whole family's here, and I cried at the bows. My manager has known me since I was 11. We did a chorus line together at the Jewish Community Center. Like, everyone I love and know is here to witness what I've been working for, and I love it. I'm just so happy. I'm so grateful.
Well, let's talk about the show. Tell me what you do in it.
I play about 5 different characters, which range from crazy Jewish grandmothers to very serious from the dead songs. That's all I'll say. Yeah, and it's just a crazy range, and I love it, and I'm so happy, and yeah.
Working with this cast, specifically Zachary and Krysta.
Zachary and Krysta are a delight. They're so attractive, talented, and really good on stage. So it's a delight, and everyone's so kind. Especially Zach and Krysta, they're so kind, and it's such a joy to show up to work every day. Really, truly is.
And the audience's reaction to the show.
It's so lovely to be in a show that everyone loves. The audience goes crazy every night, and we are so grateful that that's the reaction. It's a joy. I could not have asked for a better job as a debut. I'm so grateful. I'm so lucky.
But that's just a first impression. I could be totally wrong. It's only a first impression. I know the impression is strong.
What are we supposed to talk about now?
What do you mean?
Oh, you know, on your other first dates, after you've destroyed their spirits and questioned your overall attraction to them, what do you typically talk about next? The weather?
What has it been like working on this show?
A real challenge. I didn't know if this was going to be something I was going to be great at or not. We're doing comedy, which is really tough, and you're playing I'm playing a lot of different roles, jumping into extreme characters, and so it's been a real stretch, but very rewarding. And the creative team and the cast has been so generous, and it's just been an amazing experience from day one. So,
do you love that aspect, playing different people in the show?
I do. I wasn't sure if I would, but I really do. It's sort of like being back in improv class, and you're going to do these songs, and it's a musical improv class. It really is great.
And the audiences are going crazy for this show, aren't they?
I know. I think people are really identifying with it. It's so true to what most first dates, or a lot of first dates, are like, and I think that it allows you to sort of laugh at yourself a little bit and go, don't take it so seriously. It's just a first date, you know?
Do you have a favorite part in the show that you do?
I do. I get to play Reggie. I get to play the gay best friend. I'm like, way up here. I talk like this. I'm like, hey, bitch, what's going on? Later, slut. So he's so much fun. He's just based on a good friend of mine, and who doesn't know that yet. Hope he comes sees the show. So yeah, I love Reggie.
Talk about what it's like, what you do in the show and playing these dual roles.
Well, I embody a few different characters over the course of the evening. The most predominant character that I embody is Gabe, who is Aaron, the main character, Zachary Levi's best friend. So whenever he gets into a jam in the date, I will come through and either help him or thwart him from wherever he wants to go, all in the interest of helping him get over his ex-girlfriend and commit to the woman that he's opposite.
You play some other roles too.
I do. I play a Hasidic Jewish rabbi. And I also play a troubadour with a guitar. And let's see, what else? I think that's about it.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Tell me what it's been like working on a brand new musical.
Wonderful. It's like, I have a band, and writing music is a huge love and pastime of mine. And creating and crafting a Broadway show is like writing a piece of music. It's creativity all the time, which is great. One of the bummers about going into a revival or something that's a part that already established is that there's no opportunity for improvisation or whatever. Like if you're doing Sunday in the Park with George, you better sing Finishing the Hat the way that it's written. But with a new musical, like it's unwritten, the path is open. There's a guideline and a blueprint, but if the spirit moves and I think we should try this, yeah, let's do it. It's a wonderful, liberating feeling to be in the room and just have so much creativity abounding.
Tell me what this has been like working on this show.
It has been an amazingly beautiful, cohesive, collaborative effort with people who are professionals and smart and funny and collaborative. And I'm lucky to have been a part of it and to be trusted by my peers and by the creatives as well.
Talk about what you do in the show.
I wear a number of hats, but the main character that I play is Allison, and Allison is Zachary Levi's character, Aaron, his ex-fiance that left him at the altar. I'm the bad ex.
Is she your favorite character you play?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. She's fun. It's all fun. What I think is fun about playing characters like Allison is you kind of get to flip the switch, because I always think there's some vulnerability to characters like that, but the thing about Allison is she masks it more than anybody else, and that's what's fun to play.
And working with this cast.
Yeah, amazing. I know a number of them from doing other projects, so it's nice to come back together and greet them a couple years later as different people but the same, and with a respect to be working on a new project together. I love them all so much.
And why this is the perfect date musical, tell me.
Well, this is the perfect date musical because it's 96 minutes, so if you don't like the person, you're done. There's Hurley's next door, you can get a drink. But what's amazing about it is what you're going through is what's going on stage, and it's a good icebreaker, it's a good tension breaker. You know, Match.com bought out the entire balcony last week. It was amazing. We had such a great audience response because they're going through what we are going through on stage. It was pretty amazing. So bring your dates. It's $35.
Welcome to Broadway. How does it feel?
Amazing. Surreal. Dream come true. Bucket lists. Everything. Everything I've ever dreamed about doing since I was a kid. I mean, I've dreamt about being an actor since I was a kid and making a living at it, and I've been able to do that, you know, for a while now in television and film, which was a huge blessing. But to be able to now translate all that into being on a stage at the highest level, you know, on Broadway, and checking those boxes off, live in New York, do a Broadway show, originate a Broadway role. I don't know, man. I pinch myself on a daily basis. It's very humbling, very humbling.
So what attracted you to the material? How did it all come about for you?
My incredible agent, Joe Mahota, called me and said, hey, you got an offer for this job, and it's an original show. And he knew that I've been looking for an original. I really, I wanted to make sure that whatever the first thing I did on Broadway was something that was very special and unique, you know. And after that, I'm more than happy to go be a recast or do a revival or whatever, you know, because there's so much great stuff out there. But I don't know, I just wanted it to be very unique. I wanted people to go, wow, that's different. And to do an hour-and-a-half romantic comedy musical with no intermission, that's seven people on one stage, one act, one scene, that kind of reads like a movie, but is a little larger than life in moments that get real big, and that has so much heart and a lot of laughs. And I go, yeah, this is it. I want to do this. And I prayed about it a lot. I thought about it a lot, and I had a real peace in my heart. I was like, I really believe this is where I'm supposed to go, what I'm supposed to do. And I feel like that peace and what I believe God was telling me has not returned void, because we've had such amazing full audiences every night of previews, which I've come to find out, because this is my first show, that is not necessarily normal. And they've been so vocal and responsive and cheered and laughed and everything you hope an audience to be. And, you know, and a lot of people have waited around at stage door to just spend time with us, and that's a blessing. And I don't know, man. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I was going to ask you, when you took it out of the rehearsal room, it must have been so different when that first audience was there. It must have been so different with everybody laughing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a rehearsal room is a very weird room, you know. It's all fluorescent lights and, you know, this weird wooden structure of a stage, and, you know, and your amazing producers that are laughing for you at every joke, Randy and Sue, I love you, and Kenny and Marlene. And they're so supportive and believing in us. But, you know, you got to put it in front of an audience to see, is this working or not? And from day one, you know, we've definitely had changes to the show, but I got to say, like, we've had very little. I mean, we've had one major change with one number, and then everything else is just fine-tuning, little dials. And I really believe that we have a really special show on our hands, that it's not highbrow. I knew getting into this, we weren't making, it's not Chaucer, it's not Shakespeare or whatever. But I'm an entertainer. I want to entertain people, and I think we accomplished that with this show. And to that extent, I'm just so grateful.
Talk about working with your cast, specifically Krysta.
Oh, Krysta's just amazing. Just from day one, we've been cohorts and partners in crime and believed in one another and fought for one another. Not that we've had to fight that much because our creative team has been so amazing and believed in us, and that's my leading lady. But then the five, as we call them, are endlessly talented. In fact, in a lot of ways, though we have the lion's share of the dialogue, they have the lion's share of the songs. They have all the crazy wardrobe changes that they have to do, like quick changes, which are magical. And create such a fun atmosphere, and all just immensely vocally, comedically, so talented. I go to work every day and I'm just in awe. I'm in awe of the people that we're surrounded with, our cast, our crew, and our audiences, and the people that continue to come back and support us and believe in us.
We might get to tomorrow if we stand the test of time. Or the wind's too strong against us, and we can't quite make the climb.
Is it possible that I could be just a tiny little bit, in a very roundabout sort of way, into him?
If this could be the something that